Have you ever felt like your mind is so full that even good news cannot get in without bumping into worry? And have you ever noticed that the more you chase answers, the noisier your head becomes? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are stepping into a motivational story with a Buddhist heartbeat. The kind of story that sounds simple at first, then quietly changes the way you carry your whole life. The central idea is not that you must become blank, emotionals or detached. The central idea is that the mind becomes clearer and kinder when you stop stuffing it with unnecessary battles. When you learn to empty the mind, you are not deleting your intelligence. You are removing the clutter that blocks wisdom. And when wisdom becomes usable, compassion becomes natural, karma becomes visible, and destiny stops being dragged by the same old reactive loops. Let me tell you a story about a person who thought he needed more control, until life taught him that he needed more space. His name is Kai. He lives in a world where everything competes for attention. Messages, deadlines, opinions, notifications, people asking him to be fast, to be certain, to be impressive. Kai tries. He really does. He is competent and secretly exhausted. His mind works like a crowded market where every vendor is shouting at the same time. Even when he sits down to rest, the shouting continues inside. If you asked Kai what he wanted, he would not say enlightenment or awakening. He would say something practical. I want my life to stop feeling like a fight. I want to stop overthinking. I want to stop reacting. I want to stop feeling like I am always behind. One evening, Kai is sitting in his car after a long day. The engine is off. The street is quiet. Nothing is demanding him in that exact moment. And yet his chest feels tight. His shoulders are high. His jaw is clenched. He realizes something that scares him. The pressure is no longer coming from outside. The pressure is coming from inside. The mind is continuing the workday long after the workplace is gone. He tries the usual escape. He scrolls. He watches short clips. He checks messages. He tells himself he deserves it. But the relief is thin. It is like drinking salt water when you are thirsty. The more he consumes, the more restless he becomes. Kai goes home, lies in bed, and stares at the ceiling. His mind pulls up old arguments, future fears, imagined humiliation, unfinished tasks, and a strange hunger that cannot be satisfied by completing another item on a list. He thinks about people who wronged him years ago. He thinks about people he needs to impress tomorrow. He thinks about all the times he failed. He thinks about the future like it is a courtroom where he will be judged. Finally, he whispers something out loud, not for drama, just because he cannot hold it in anymore. I cannot live inside this noise forever. The next day he meets an older man named Jun at a small bookshop. Kai has seen Jun around before. Jun is not famous, not flashy, not the kind of person who tries to teach strangers. But there is something about him. Jun moves slowly without being lazy. He speaks softly without being weak. His eyes look like someone who has learned how to be present even when life is not comfortable. Kai does not know why, but he tells Jun the truth. My mind never stops. I feel like I am drowning in my own thoughts. Jun listens, nods, and says something that sounds almost as simple. Then you need to learn how to empty your mind. Kai laughs bitterly. Empty my mind? If I could do that, I would not be here. Jun smiles. Most people misunderstand what empty means. They think it means no thoughts. That is not the point. Empty means not carrying what you do not need. Empty means letting thoughts pass instead of turning them into furniture you drag everywhere. Empty means creating space so wisdom can breathe. Kai is skeptical, but he is also tired enough to try anything that is not another distraction. Jun invites Kai to come early the next morning to a quiet park. Just show up, Jun says. No promises, no magic, just show up. Kai shows up because he does not want to admit how desperate he feels, but he also does not want to stay trapped. In the park, Jun sits on a bench and gestures for Kai to sit beside him. Birds make small sounds. Leaves move slightly in the wind. The world is not silent, but it is not shouting either. Jun says, "Close your eyes for a moment and notice your breath." Kai closes his eyes. Immediately his mind starts complaining. "This is boring. This is pointless. I have things to do. I should be checking my phone. My back hurts. I am wasting time." Jun says, "You see, your mind is full. Not full of truth, full of noise. The first step to emptying the mind is to hear the noise without believing it." Kai opens his eyes. He looks embarrassed. Jun continues, "Your mind is like a cup. Every day you pour in worries, resentments, rehearsals, fantasies, and fears. Then you wonder why there is no room for peace. If you want peace, you must stop pouring so much, and you must learn how to pour out what is already there." Kai asks, "How?" Jun tells him a story. A long time ago, a student visited a teacher and said, "Teach me wisdom." The teacher offered tea. The student talked and talked, showing off knowledge, asking questions, arguing, demanding answers. The teacher kept pouring tea into the cup, even when it was full. Tea overflowed onto the table. The student said, "Stop. The cup is full. It cannot hold more." The teacher said, "Exactly. Your mind is like this cup. If you want to receive anything real, you must first empty it." Kai has heard versions of this story before, but something about hearing it in the quiet morning makes it land differently. He realizes he has been demanding answers while refusing to create space for understanding. Jun says, "Emptying the mind is not only meditation. It is a way of living. It is seeing what you are carrying and deciding what deserves to stay." Kai asks, "What should I throw away?" Jun says, "Start with what hurts you without helping you." Kai frowns. "Like what?" Jun says, "The arguments you replay to win imaginary battles. The grudges you keep as proof you were wronged. The self-insults you repeat as if they are motivation. The fear stories you treat as facts. The need to control everything. The hunger to be admired. These are heavy loads. They do not make you wise. They make you tense." Kai feels resistance. Some of those loads feel like protection. If I let go of my anger, I will be weak. If I let go of my worries, I will be unprepared. If I let go of my self-criticism, I will become lazy. If I stop controlling, everything will fall apart. Jun nods as if he can hear the resistance before Kai speaks it. Jun says, "That is the mind defending its chains." The mind confuses suffering with safety because it has carried suffering for so long it feels familiar. But familiarity is not freedom. Jun then gives Kai a practice that sounds simple but is surprisingly difficult. For 1 week, Jun says, "Do not try to empty the whole mind. Just empty one thing at a time. When a thought appears, ask 3 questions. Is it true? Is it useful? Is it kind? If it fails all 3, let it go like you would drop a hot coal." Kai laughs. "Let it go. Easier said than done." Jun says, "Of course. That is why it is called practice. You are training karma. Every time you drop a useless thought, you weaken its habit. Every time you pick it up and rehearse it, you strengthen it. Your destiny is the accumulation of what you repeatedly pick up." Kai goes home with that practice, not fully believing it, but curious. That evening, he is washing dishes and a memory arises. A co-worker embarrassed him in a meeting months ago. Kai usually replays that moment, inventing a better comeback, imagining how he will prove that person wrong. The thought arises like a spark. Kai catches himself and asks, "Is it true? The event happened?" "Yes. But the story that he must replay it to be safe is not true." "Is it useful?" Replaying it will not change the past. It will only tighten his chest. "Is it kind?" No. It makes him angry and bitter. He tries to drop it. At first it comes back immediately. Then he drops it again. It comes back again. He drops it again. He feels like he is failing. Then he remembers Jun saying returning is the training. He drops it again. Something unexpected happened. The thought still exists, but it loses some heat. It becomes less of a command and more of a passing mental event. Kai feels a small space open up in his chest. Not huge, but real. The next day, another test arrives. Kai receives a short message from his manager. "We need to talk later." Old Kai would have spiraled. What did I do? Am I in trouble? I will lose my job. My life will collapse. He would have built a future disaster from a single sentence. This time he notices the anxiety rise. Tight belly. Quick breath. He asks, "Is my catastrophic story true?" Not yet. Is it useful? No. Is it kind? No. He breathes once and chooses a wiser action. He replies calmly, "Sure. What time works for you?" He returns to his work without feeding the spiral. When the meeting happened, it turns out the manager wants Kai to lead a small project. The mind had built a storm that reality did not require. Kai sits afterward feeling both relief and embarrassment. Relief that nothing was wrong. Embarrassment that he almost suffered for hours over something imaginary. He remembers Jun saying the mind pours in extra suffering. Kai realizes he has been pouring in suffering as a habit. Like a person who adds salt to every meal without tasting it. Now let us talk about why this practice matters spiritually, not just emotionally. In Buddhist terms, the mind is affected by craving and aversion. Craving says I must have this to be okay. Aversion says I must get rid of this to be okay. The mind swings like a door in the wind. When you empty the mind, you are not removing life. You are removing unnecessary craving and aversion, so you can meet life with equanimity. That steady balance that holds joy without clinging and pain without collapsing. Kai begins to notice his cravings. He craves being respected. When someone questions him, he reacts. He craves certainty. When something is unknown, he panics. He craves control. When plans change, he becomes rigid. He craves distraction. When discomfort appears, he grabs his phone. Each craving is a rope guide around his mind. The world pulls the rope and he moves, not by choice, but by conditioning. Jun tells him something that becomes a turning point. If you want nothing to control you, you must stop being controlled by what you crave. Kai sits with that. He realizes that even if he defeats every enemy outside, the enemy inside is craving. The constant hunger that makes him restless. So Kai practices emptying cravings in small ways. He notices the urge to check his phone and waits 10 breaths before doing it. Sometimes he checks anyway, but sometimes the urge fades. He learns that craving is a wave, not a law. He notices the urge to interrupt someone in conversation to prove his point. He waits and listens instead. He realizes he can be respected without dominating. He notices the urge to defend himself when criticized. He pauses and asks what is useful in the feedback. He realizes he can learn without losing dignity. Each time he empties a craving, his mind becomes a little quieter. Not because life becomes easy, but because his inner chains become looser. But the hardest thing Kai has to empty is not a craving. It is resentment. Resentment feels justified. It feels like proof you were wronged. It feels like armor. Kai has a particular resentment he has carried for years. A friend betrayed his trust. The friendship ended badly. Kai has replayed the story so many times that it feels like part of his identity. Jun asks him, "What does resentment give you?" Kai says, "It gives me the feeling that I was right." Jun says, "And what does it cost?" Kai is silent. It costs peace. It costs openness. It costs new friendships, because he expects betrayal. It costs sleep. It costs joy. Jun says, "Then, it is time to empty it." Kai reacts, "I cannot just forgive. That would mean what happened was okay." Jun shakes his head. Forgiveness is not saying it was okay. Forgiveness is saying I will not continue bleeding inside forever. Forgiveness is refusing to let the past control the present. Forgiveness is an act of wisdom and compassion. Because hatred is poison you drink while hoping the other person suffers. Kai knows this is true. But knowing and doing are different. Jung gives Kai a method. First, admit the pain honestly. Do not pretend it did not hurt. Second, notice the story you keep repeating. The story that says you must keep punishing yourself with replay to stay safe. Third, breathe and feel the resentment in the body. Heat, tightness, pressure. Fourth, ask what wise action would reduce suffering now. Not what would satisfy revenge. What would reduce suffering? Kai tries this at night. He sits on his bed, eyes open, breathing. He lets the memory come. He feels anger. He feels grief underneath the anger. The grief of losing what he thought was a safe bond. He realizes resentment has been protecting grief. If he stays angry, he does not have to feel sadness. He breathes and lets sadness come. Tears surprise him. He has not cried about this for years because he stayed armored. As he cries, something loosens. The resentment is not gone, but it becomes less rigid. It becomes more human. He realizes he is not only angry, he is hurt. Hurt is softer than anger. Hurt can heal. This is a deep spiritual moment. Not because it is dramatic, but because it is honest. Awakening often looks like finally admitting what you feel without performing strength. In the weeks that follow, Kai keeps emptying the mind, one burden at a time. He empties unnecessary arguments. He empties catastrophic futures. He empties self-insult. He empties obsession with being right. He empties resentment by letting grief move. He empties some craving by practicing patience with discomfort. And as the mind empties, something else appears. Space. In that space, Kai starts noticing things he never noticed because he was always inside his head. He notices the softness of evening light on a wall. He notices the warmth of a friend's laugh. He notices how good it feels to breathe slowly. He notices that his body is not just a machine carrying tasks. It is a living home. He also notices compassion rising more naturally. When you are not constantly defending ego, you have room to see others. He sees a stressed co-worker and instead of judging, he offers help. He sees a stranger who looks tired and he silently wishes them peace. He becomes gentler at home because he is not carrying as much inner fire. This is the hidden miracle of emptying the mind. When you remove clutter, the heart becomes visible. Now life still tests him. Of course it does. One day, a project fails. Kai is blamed unfairly by someone trying to protect their own image. Old Kai would have exploded or collapsed. He would have fought publicly, or he would have carried the resentment privately. This time he feels the he tries and pauses. He asks the three question. Is the story in my head true? Is it useful? Is it kind? He sees the mind wanting revenge. He sees the mind wanting to prove worth. He sees the mind wanting to control how others see him. He breathes and chooses a wise response. He documents facts calmly. He speaks clearly. He sets boundaries. He does not insult. He does not gossip. He does not poison his own heart. The situation is still unpleasant, but he does not multiply suffering. Afterward, he walks outside and feels something like quiet pride. Not pride as superiority, pride as dignity. He is becoming someone who can meet difficulty without becoming cruel. That is destiny changing. Not luck, not magic, practice. Now let me bring this story closer to you. Most people think their life problems will end when they solve external issues. New job, new relationship, new city, new routine. Sometimes those help, but the deeper suffering often follows because the mind follows. The mind carries its habits like luggage. Emptying the mind is learning what to stop carrying. Stop carrying the need to win every conversation. Stop carrying the need to be admired by everyone. Stop carrying the belief that your worst fear is a fact. Stop carrying the past like a weapon. Stop carrying self-hatred like it is discipline. Stop carrying resentment like it is protection. Stop carrying constant distraction like it is rest. When you stop carrying these, your hands become free. And when your hands become free, you can finally hold what matters. You can hold patience. You can hold kindness. You can hold clarity. You can hold gratitude. You can hold real love. That is the Buddhist path in plain language. Reduce suffering by seeing clearly and letting go of what feeds suffering. Grow wisdom by noticing cause and effect. Grow compassion by refusing to harden. If you want to start today, start very small. The next time a stressful thought appears, do not argue with it for an hour. Pause and ask, is this thought true? Is it useful? Is it kind? If it is not, let it pass like a cloud. Return to the breath. Return to the body. Return to what is real in this moment. You are not emptying the mind to become nothing. You are emptying the mind to become free. Now I want to close with the final scene from Kai's story because it shows the point better than any explanation. Months after meeting Jun, Kai returns to that same park bench early in the morning. Jun is there, sitting quietly. Kai sits down beside him. They do not speak right away. Birds move in the trees. The air feels cool. Jun finally asks, "How is your mind?" Kai smiles and says, "Still noisy sometimes. But I know what to do now." Jun nods. "And what do you do?" Kai says, "I stop pouring more in. I drop what is not needed. I return. I breathe. I practice. I let thoughts pass. I choose compassion. I choose wisdom." Jun smiles gently. Then Jun says, "That is the secret. The mind does not become peaceful by force. It becomes peaceful by release." Kai looks at the trees and feels a quiet gratitude. He realizes that peace is not a gift given to special people. Peace is a skill trained by ordinary people who are willing to practice. And that means you can train it too. Thank you for being here with me. If there is a thought you are tired of carrying, or a pattern you are ready to drop, share your story in the comments. Your honesty might help someone else feel less alone. And if you want more teachings and stories about mindfulness, wisdom, karma, practice, and the path that reshapes destiny from the inside out, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and keep coming back. I will see you in the next one.